The very first glimpse of End of Dragons was released in August of 2020, with a release date expected to be in the summer of 2021. Due to the sheer amount of content, as well as the challenges of creating an MMORPG expansion during a pandemic, End of Dragons was pushed back to February 2022. Now that it's nearly a week of End of Dragons being launched, the question on everyone's minds is End of Dragons really worth it? 9.5 years ago today, I stayed up all night in order to enjoy the release of Guild Wars 2. So it only makes perfect sense for me to request a whole week off of work in order to dive into this brand new expansion. I'm here to explain what you can expect from End of Dragons and what me, as a veteran player, has enjoyed and taken away from this brand new expansion. There are 4 different maps you can explore within Cantha, the very first one being Saitung Province. Here you'll learn how to fish with the locals, take on your first water adventure on your very own skiff, and you'll be able to take in the breathtaking landscapes that this small island off the coast of the mainland has to offer. If you are a new player, you can learn the combat system within the game on the training grounds. Here you'll be able to learn the game's mechanics such as dodging, break bar system, and more. Feel free to take a break and catch some big fish. Just be careful of the giant one that roams the coast. It's known to swallow a handful of players at any given notice. The second map is New Kaineng City. This city is not only gigantic in size, but it's also extremely advanced due to the city's reliance on Jade technology. Enjoy scenic horizons of the cityscape, adopt your very own Jadebot companion to help you travel around the city. And if you don't have any mounts in the game, this city will provide the Raptor and the Springer as you explore. I'd steer clear when the city lights start to flash, as that's a sign that some of the technological beasts are starting to go haywire. As you start to travel east outside of the city's borders, you'll stumble onto the third map, the Ekelwald Wilds. Here you'll most likely get lost in this dense jungle with its complex trails and territories that can be held from various gangs. Encounter the Jade Tech Scrapyard or stop to gaze at some of the ancient and beautiful temples scattered everywhere among the forest. As you path your way through all of these trees, just be cautious of any void enemies you encounter or any of the gang wars that abruptly start. If you make it through the Ekelwald Wilds alive, you'll come across a gate on the eastern side that leads you to the Jade Sea. This is where a variety of people from Cantha can come to harvest jade in order to power their technology. This map is actually called Dragon's End, and though you may be dumbfounded to find a frozen green sea, don't get lost in its beauty. On the southern side of the map, you'll find an overwhelming threat from the very last Elder Dragon, Su-Wan.
Close your eyes and feel the emptiness wash over you.
She has been corrupted with void magic, which is a mixture of magic from all the other defeated Elder Dragons. It's up to you and a large group of players to free Su-Wan from this corruption. Every single expansion that the developer ArenaNet has released into Guild Wars has come with a bundle of new elite specializations. These elite specs are a way for you to play your profession differently by wielding new weapons and getting access to new skills. Here are the 9 brand new elite specs End of Dragons has to offer. The Mastery system allows you to progress your character to obtain new abilities to help you traverse and explore the world. These are the masteries you can expect to learn in Cantha. Pretty self-explanatory. Head to any body of water and grab your fishing rod. You can catch a wide range of fish, with each map holding new varieties to obtain. Fish can be used to create food dishes that can give you combat buffs, or you can use the fish that you catch to grow your very own siege turtle. More on that later. Time to set sail on the open waters. Skiffs make it easy to travel across Cantha's rivers and seas. Feel free to invite any friends to join your crew. Be sure to drop your anchor every now and then to take a small fishing break. With Cantha's reliance on Jade technology, your personal Jadebot will be quite useful as you explore each map. utilize zip lines, enable an updraft while you glide, speed up your skiff, put down your very own personal waypoint, or even get revived from your own Jade bot if you go down. There is a small map nearby the Ekelwald Wilds called the Arborstone. This will act as a central hub for you to meet up with other players and access strike missions. If you train your Arborstone mastery line, you'll be able to add vendors, crafting, entertainment, and more to make the most of this hub map. The very first duo mount, as well as the first combat mount, has been added to the game via the Siege Turtle. After successfully completing the meta event at Dragon's End, you'll be able to find a Siege Turtle egg that will hatch within Arborstone. Here you'll be able to feed it food to watch it grow, and once you obtain all the items required to build your saddle and canyons, you'll be able to roam around on your very personal Siege Turtle mount. Just about every single MMO player always asks this question. What is the endgame content within End of Dragons? And you actually have quite a few to choose from. The very first batch of content is strike missions. Strike missions are repeatable boss encounters that have their own mechanics and phases for a group of 10 players to take on. If you have ever done raiding in other MMO games, strike missions are exactly like raid bosses. Over the coming weeks, ArenaNet has plans on releasing challenge mode on each of the 4 strike missions with new rewards to show off to others. There are also big-scaled meta events in each of the 4 open world maps. These meta events require a large-scale coordination between players to handle various different fights in multiple locations. In the very last map, Dragon's End, it holds an extremely difficult fight against Su Wan, and as of the first week of this expansion, a majority of players have actually failed this meta event. This is how I personally played the expansion. The very first thing I did was specialize into my elite spec, the Spectre. I started doing the story and would explore the whole map I was on to obtain 100% map completion. If the story was trying to bring me to a different map, I would hold off on going to that brand new map and would first complete the current map that I was on. It helped me take my time and participate in various events each map has to offer. When I made it to the last map, Dragon's End, the story encourages you to play through this meta event. After playing through the meta event and failing, I completed the story. The next thing I wanted to do was obtain my Siege Turtle, and I was told that you can only obtain your Siege Turtle if you defeat Su Wan. I joined another random squad within Dragon's End and we ran the meta, and we failed again. The third attempt, I was able to hop on a coordinated squad with the guild, Hardstuck, via their Discord. With a group of 50 gamers in total, we all hopped onto a Discord call, searched for an empty map, got the entire team onto this map. Everybody had their microphones muted as the commander of the group called out mechanics and things to watch out for as the fight with Su Wan took place. Together, we were able to accomplish this meta event. Now I'm happily roaming the maps with my turtle, and I highly suggest you reach out to any of these guilds, such as Hardstuck or Spud, in order to join an organized group to take on Su Wan. Okay, so there are things I like and there are things I dislike about the expansion. Let's go ahead and talk about the things I do enjoy. I really enjoy playing the Spectre specialization. I was always looking for an elite spec that dealt conditions within the weapon set, and the Scepter does exactly that. The game's story was very enjoyable, at least for me who has played all the expansions and all the Living World episodes. There's only one strike mission that I ended up doing, and that was the Kaineng Overlook strike. You need to do this strike in order to get one of the items for your Siege Turtle, so this is the one I chose to do. I asked my group before the fight started how the mechanics work, and various different people of the group were able to explain what to expect. And it was a really fun strike mission. It lasted about 20 minutes or so, kept me on the edge of my seat. I really had to pay attention with what was going on screen. The meta events within the open worlds are really fun. I haven't actually done all of them, but the ones I did play, specifically Dragon's End, is quite challenging but extremely fun. The maps themselves are great. Like visually, they look fantastic. It's fun to explore each map with skiff rides, and when I'm not doing events or fighting foes, I catch some fish. So let's talk about the things I dislike about the expansion. The very first one being the Arborstone Mastery line. This one I don't enjoy. Now don't get me wrong, I like having hub places where you can meet up with other players and load into strike missions, but having a whole mastery line that just adds vendors and resting XP experience, I don't know, it doesn't really catch my attention. There are various places in the world where you can find crafting stations, where you can find bank vendors, and that's completely free to use. Maybe I'm being a bit too critical, but I don't like this mastery line for the time being. I don't actually like the Ekelwald Wilds map. Now, the map itself isn't bad, but I've played a lot of Heart of Thorns, and that map has a ton of jungle maps where there are tons of forests, there are tons of trees, and so Ekelwald Wilds, it really felt like this kind of map. Like, it felt like I was playing Heart of Thorns. So if you haven't played that expansion, maybe you'll enjoy this map a little bit more than I did. Okay, so let's talk about Dragon's End. It's on everybody's mind because a lot of players aren't able to complete it. Huh? The only thing I dislike about the Dragon's End meta with Suwon is the fact that getting a group all on the same map is completely horrendous. It took us about 15 to 20 minutes to find an open map and get everyone onto that same map. Instead of actually playing Guild Wars 2, you end up playing Join Wars 2, and that's not fun at all. It's quite annoying, but it does pay off as you'll be able to take down Suwon. There are many different MMORPGs out there that offer a wide range of experiences for gamers to enjoy. Guild Wars 2 has one of the best combat systems, and this expansion offers great maps to explore, many different events to participate in, repeatable end-game content, and more. With the price tag of $30, you'll definitely get your hours worth if you have plans on obtaining certain gear or finishing specific achievements, or exploring the map again with friends or on different characters. And for those who have already played a little bit of Ender Dragons, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this brand new expansion. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay hydrated, gamers.